Hello everyone, welcome to the solo Nightfall, where for week 23 we'll be going to the Nexus for some Voidburn Angry Juggler action. This means while getting to Secron isn't the biggest deal in the world, the Secron fight itself is a pain in the butt. The loadout I'll be using for this run is the Badger CCL, LDR 5001, Truth, and the Swarm. I used Truth up until Secron. It's just a very good rocket launcher, and it's the only Void exotic, fun fact. LDR 5001 I use literally only because it's the only Void sniper that I own, and I switched to the Swarm during the Secron fight. You'll see why when we get there. Why do I use the Swarm? It's the only thing that I have. We'll start with the first room. At the start, you'll have 3 Vandals and 3 Dregs to kill who come in from the stairs directly in front of you, followed by 3 Shanks with solar shields and 3 Reaver Vandals coming from your right. Dispose of them as quickly as possible. If you need to fall back, do it. The first servitor is going to spawn either on the left or right side. I believe it's random. Either way, you're going to want to fall back and kill everything before killing the servitor. Killing the servitor will trigger the other 2 servitors to spawn, so don't kill the first until you're ready to move on to the next 2. The next 2 will spawn from the left and rightmost doorways. If you're killing the first servitor on the right, like I am, sometimes you'll be able to catch all the ads spawning from the left side door while they're all bunched together. Take them out with a rocket if you have it. You can snipe the servitor in 2 to 3 shots with crits. The rest of the ads coming from the right side should be taken out one at a time, clearing everything. The Reaver Captain is probably the biggest threat here besides the servitor. He's not going to 2-shot you with that shrapnel launcher, but he's definitely a menace to deal with. Be aware when using grenades because he will just bum rush you at times and you won't be able to stagger him because of Angry. Just be patient, pick your shots, take it easy, and just clear everything. You're going to want the heavy and special ammo, trust me. After everything is dead, you'll have 3 stealth Vandals waiting up top. They aren't a big deal. The next room has 2 Shanks and a whole bunch of Vandals. You can either kill the 2 Shanks or you can ignore them, but either way, we'll be ignoring the Vandals. Jump up and just run through into the next area. Coming up are a bunch of Dregs and Vandals, not a big deal, just breeze right on through. Fighting the Vex starts here, and here is where it starts to get a little dangerous. First of all, Goblins and Hobgoblins have void damage based melee attacks, so yeah, there's no light switch, but with the Vex around, it's basically light switch levels of damage. Coming into the first Vex area, we have 3 Harpies. These are not a big deal, just kill them. What you do need to be careful of are the Axis Goblins because they have the Minotaur weapons, which do heavy void damage. You'll also need to be careful because they act however the hell they want. Sometimes they'll just start walking to the room where the Harpies are and totally take you by surprise like they do for me here. Keep checking both sides, find where they are, and try and get rid of them before you engage the other targets. There will be goblins waiting for you on the right, but if you don't kill them basically as you enter the area, they will most definitely come to you. Also outside are 2 major hobgoblins, these are pretty easy to snipe, and 2 minotaurs. Give them the truth or your void heavy equivalent. They will blow you up very quickly, so keep your distance. After you kill them, be aware of the tunnel leading to the next area. 6 goblins are going to spawn, and their damage is surprisingly high, not to mention their melee potential. Be careful. Moving to the mini gauntlet, you can use a rocket here if you want, but I suggest holding on to all the rockets that you can because you're going to need them. Before we jump down into the Secron area, we want to take out 2 of the 6 Minotaurs at least. Of the 6 Minotaurs, 3 of them are majors, 3 of them are not. Ideally, we'll get 1 and 1. Look directly in front of where the ramp area thing is. There should be an Axis and a normal Minotaur just kind of walking on that area. Snipe them to make your life a little bit easier. Now, I have a slight advantage here thanks to my Ward of Dawn, and if you don't have Ward of Dawn, you're going to have to do some kiting instead of just being able to sit up on the rock that I'm on. You're going to want to rocket and heavy and grenade all these Minotaurs. If you want to take out a couple more of them from up top, I don't blame you. Just be aware that you're going to have another Axis Minotaur spawn behind you after about 20 to 30 seconds. So remember, once you manage to kill all of the Minotaurs, the real fight starts. Once the fight starts, I switch to my heavy machine gun. You'll see why in a minute. Pop a heavy ammo pack if you're low on heavy ammo. You're probably going to need it. I will be here for the entirety of the fight, behind this big block. It has its benefits and has its drawbacks. The benefit is that it's a big-ass block for you to hide behind while you pop sniper shots very, very patiently into Secron. The drawback is that when the Vex spawn, they spawn literally right on top of you. I've tried a couple of other spots, they didn't work as well as I wanted, and using this spot, I was able to get the job done, so I'm going with this. So let's take a look at how we get this done. Standing behind the block, I jump back and forth from the left to the right side of the block, popping one sniper shot into his crit spot. This is a very patient fight, but it also requires you to be on your toes. As you whittle down Secron's health, you'll get closer to spawning a wave of Vex. As soon as you notice the wave spawning, immediately hide behind the block, turn around, and whip out your heavy machine gun. As soon as you see any Vex spawn, just blast the hell out of them. A couple will spawn very close to you, watch out for their melee. The first couple of waves won't be too bad, you're going to want to focus on those hobgoblins first. Each wave will also spawn like this. The group directly on top of you spawns first, then a group to your left, if you're facing Secron, will spawn right after, in conjunction with a group a little bit farther away. The plan here is to nuke the hell out of the first group that spawns, then it's a judgment call on how much damage you need on the next groups. Later into the fight, you're going to want to be rocking your heavy for basically all of the adds, because there's going to be a lot of them. Once again, I have the luxury of my Ward of Dawn making things a little bit safer. Warlocks, you're going to have Nova Bomb, and placing that well will basically clear all of the adds. Hunters, you're probably going to have a little more trouble. Running to a new location is always going to run the risk of being blasted by Secron. Move at your own discretion. But basically, you're going to repeat this until Secron dies. The ad waves are going to get more and more difficult to handle as they spawn. They're going to spawn every 20% of his health, so keep tabs on Secron's health. I'm going to let the rest of the video play out if you want to see how I actually complete this. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.
Great work.
One tendril of the death surge has been in other dark places, far out of our reach. We must continue to understand their power and haunt the realms where they gather.